I'm Megha Sharma, and the malls have now gone ahead and opened in all parts of the country, be it Hyderabad, Bengaluru, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, and many other states of the country. What is the situation? What is happening when it comes to the SOPs and guidelines that are being followed strictly and stringently by the mall owners and the management? Let's take a look. A number of these walkthroughs and the ground situations that have been covered by my reporters, by my colleagues from Delhi, from Hyderabad, and from Bengaluru specifically.
From today, all the malls in the national capital will be functional again. After 2 months of lockdown, the malls will be opening up again, and it is a good news for the workers who had been working in these malls for 2 months. Their work was completely shut. There was no source of income, and now the malls are open. And right now I'm standing in front of the Select City Mall in Saket. As you can see, along with the employees and the customers out here, they have to go through the checking point out here at the Select City Mall, where they have to stand at a 6 feet distance against each other, and they have to wait for their turn unless and until they are being screened by the mall authorities, and after that they have to go through the sanitization process. As you can see in the Saket City Mall, there has been tent also put out for the people to make sure that the people doesn't stand in the sun. They have made they have put arrangements of the tent here. And coming and talking about of the vehicles, for the vehicles who are coming through vehicles, they have to stop here. They have to first the mall authorities will sanitize the entire vehicle. As you can see, car sanitization board has been put out here by the mall authorities, and after that they will go through from this checkpoint to another, where they will be thermal screened, and after that they will be asked to proceed further. So these are the arrangements made across different malls in the national capital, where they have to make sure that they maintain the social distancing norm as well as wear mask whenever they enter. And right now you can see a car has come, and now it will be sanitized, and wearing mask is compulsory. You have to compulsory wear mask whenever you come. So you can see now the mall authority will start sanitizing the tires of the vehicle. So these are the first step of precaution that's been taken by the mall authorities across several other shopping malls in the national capital. With Pawan Chaudhary, I'm Sabyasachi Roy Chaudhary for NewsX, New Delhi.
All these shopping malls, hotels and restaurants are opened in the city of Hyderabad by following all the SOT measures. This is the big bazaar located at Abid's center of Hyderabad. All these shopping malls are open, big bazaar is open, and MPM mall and other things are also open. You can see that all the small shops also along with the malls are right now open, and there are less number of customers on the first day after they are open after 80 days. That is the reason there are less public, and entry without mask boards are there, and those whoever want to enter inside of the shopping mall, they have to wear a mask, and they have to sanitize their hands, and they have to keep physical distance. That kind of measures are taken at each and every shopping mall of here. All the cloth showrooms and other showrooms you can see right now on the screen, they are all open. Lifts are also opened, but only less number of persons are allowed in a lift by making physical distance. Take for example, when in a shopping mall 20 persons are allowed at a lift at a one time, only 6 persons are allowed. That kind of stringent measures are taken at this particular shopping mall. From watches to clothes, everybody can come freely and shop by maintaining all kinds of measures. In the entrance itself, they are checked. The customers are checked. If they are asymptomatic, they are entered inside. If their temperature is high, they cannot be entered in the shopping malls. In the hotels also, the same kind of case is happening. That's why the public are warned, unless and until there is an urgency, they should not come out. The Telangana government and Andhra government have issued advisories for the public also. That's why public need to take care of themselves. This is Lokesh with Wasif for NewsX.
It's the first day of Unlock 1.0, and then we are doing a reality check across Bengaluru. Right now, I am at the UB City Mall. This is a Uber check ultra luxury mall of Bengaluru, which hosts many of the international brands, including Jimmy Choo, Diesel, Louis Vuitton, amongst others. And right now I am at the entrance of the UB City. Here you can see a sanitizing tunnel has been put, and every person who enters the mall has to go through this particular tunnel. It's a sanitizing tunnel, and as you enter, you're sprayed with the sanitizer, and then you enter the mall. This is the grand entrance of the UB City Mall, and here you can see very low presence of people, you could say. On any other given day, you could see this mall teeming with people. This particular mall has also got a food court wherein people come here quite often to socialize. And to the right is the Louis Vuitton showroom that you see, and you have the Rolex showroom the other side. And then if you come to the other side, here you can see the Diesel shop. Now, this is one of the mostly frequented, highly frequented place in Bengaluru city, situated in the central business district of Bengaluru. UB City is quite famous for socialites too, who hang out here in large numbers on any given day. But today is a different day altogether. It's a different story altogether. After 70 days of lockdown, this particular mall has been now open to people, and slowly people have started trickling into this particular mall. This has also got office complexes situated on the annex building, but this is the place for shopping international brands. And here I'm going to take you to show how this mall is on day one of Unlock 1.0.
Well, there you have it. Those are the malls that have opened, and people have also started trickling. And now mall owners and management have gone ahead and ensured there are stringent guidelines that are being followed, more stringent than the ones that the Ministry of Home Affairs had issued just a few days ago. I'm being joined by a couple of those who have gone ahead, in fact, the owners of the malls, and they are going to highlight and give us a perspective as to how day one of shoppers trickling into their malls was all about. Arjun Sharma from Select City Walk, he's the owner of the Select City Walk group. He joins me on the broadcast. So does Pushpa Bector, who is managing the malls when it comes to DLF. Welcome on the show, both of you. And my first question is going to be to you, Arjun. You have been firefighting this entire time, 2 months. It was lockdown. Now, first numbers trickling in. How's the situation like?
Well, thank you, Megha. Thank you for having us on this show. Yes, it's a big relief today. Little over 2.5 months to be shut down. No business plan ever envisaged something like this. And I think it took us all back to the drawing board. And first of all, we're very grateful to the central government that, cleared the various norms for shopping centers and retail establishments to open. They did that a couple of weeks ago. And then we're also very grateful to the Delhi government that kind of understood the protocols and processes that had been set up by the Shopping Center Association of India. Now, let us not forget, and I want to take a couple of minutes to explain to you that these protocols were set up after we saw the experience of shopping malls across Asia, Middle East, Europe reopen. Of course, we also saw how countries like Australia and North America, which never shut, what kind of protocols they did. So in a way, while we were obviously suffering the period of the lockdown, we also took this opportunity to work our systems and processes. And I think there was a lot of learning, especially out of China, that we could get. And I think the Shopping Center Association of India put this very detailed SOP, which we shared with the government. And I think the government realized that shopping centers were serious about their processes. Now, there is nothing foolproof, but we can mitigate risks to the best of our ability. And that's what we've done. So yes, today, when we opened, so first of all, we got the notification only late last night, and it was a bit tough to open today because not everybody was ready. But I guess we probably opened with about 40% of our stores there. Now, obviously, it felt like when we walked into the mall this morning in our teams, it was like as if the shopping center was opening for the first time. It was like a new baby for all of us. And so we were very excited to be open. You could feel the palpable energy amongst, I think, first of all, our own teams and the retail staff that was there, because everybody was so looking forward to this, because people have been stuck, even the retailers, the staff, our associates. So they felt very good, and I think that was the first feel-good factor that I sensed.
In fact, visuals on your screens, on our screens just a while ago, the Select City Walk Mall, and there are a lot of these SOPs in place. There are a lot of these stages where a person has to go through that sanitation tunnel or the disinfection tunnel, and then there is this thermal checking. There is completely contactless, which is a good sign. Then again, there are other stringent rules that are being followed inside the mall as well. And also specifically talk to us about the food courts, because have the food courts opened already?
Well, no, we haven't opened the food courts because the food preparation takes between 2 to 3 days to set up. They have to get their groceries, they have to get that. But we opened some, of the gelatos, some coffee, tea, coffee is open. Because it will take, I think it will take about a week, 10 days to really get everything back into motion. And I think we just plunged into it because we just felt that, we were ready, so we should go ahead with it. We've got approximately, I think, 3,500 walk-ins till about 5 o'clock this evening when I last checked. We are open till 8. And this is approximately 20-25% of that we typically get on a Monday morning in the month of June. So yes, slow start, could have been always better, but I think in the circumstances, a very promising start.
But also talk to me about the number of staff that has now gone ahead and increased, because perhaps they will have to be employed on the floor, sweeping it perhaps every hour, every 2 hours. Sanitization work is going ahead and putting those disinfectants in places and on people. So also become a more cumbersome task at the same time?
Yes, it's quite complicated. I think the SOPs, it's easier to say that we have the SOPs. And that's why actually in a way we are glad that the footfalls were the way they were, because it was very manageable. And I think it will take a few days for our teams to set the process. So basically, we've divided the teams into 3 lots. So at no point of time do we have same team on the same day. So we want to give them breaks. So the idea being that, God forbid, there's any of the team members ever gets infected, we don't have to kind of take away the whole unit. So we're kind of splitting it up. But yes, it's a task, it's a process. There was extra deployment, which means extra staff for especially on security, on the sanitization process. But the good part was, and I must say I'm very happy, and I want to say salute the people of Delhi. I would say 99.9% everybody cooperated with the security. There was no issues. People respected lines, people respected the process, and I think that is amazing. There were a few cases when people didn't want to go through the sanitization tunnel, or they didn't want to, give the Arogya Setu app, but that's fine. At the end of the day, they realized that what we're doing is for their good, and everybody's seeing that that's the only idea, is to keep everybody safe. And of course, the key for us is to ensure that people wear masks. So there were a couple of instances when we saw that some kids were taking selfies without masks. So yes, the security gently guided them not to do that, and they respected that. And I think it's par for the course, and that's again the learning that we have to ensure that people respect the rules. But we mustn't forget, we are not the police. We can't sack anybody, we can't throw them out of the mall, but we can only guide them and gently request them to respect the rules of the center.
And today, when you headed to the mall, went about ensuring that there were security checks in place, your staff was in place, there was extra hygiene measures were also in place. What was the entire experience like, if you could tell us?
Very surreal for everybody, very surreal. As I said, it was like a baby being born. I think it felt like the first day when the shopping center opened 13 years ago. It was like a new center today, So I guess we just felt very good. The teams were very motivated, very excited. And I must say, it's really been a great team effort of not just our own staff, but I think the retailers, I think they are really the heroes, because they worked through the night, they set up their garments, they had steamed the garments, and they truly were the heroes. I think I would really respect the retail industry for what it did overnight.
Absolutely. Pushpa, coming to you, the malls for DLF are going to open from tomorrow, day after onwards. This is the graded opening up setup that you have decided and go forward with. First of all, first question, what are the measures that are being taken? How is the customer going to be greeted when they come to your mall?
So, Megha, thank you for having us. And one can tell you is that at DLF, we are highly compliant. and highly conscious in terms of not just safety and sanitization. Now we are adding a new layer to it of improving customer confidence through very, very high sanitization and compliance. So which is why we are taking these 2 days additional. Wednesday, we will be opening DLF Avenue, which is the neighbor of Select City Walk. We will also be opening Promenade and Emporio on Thursday, and on Friday, we'll be opening Mall of India, the largest country today. So what we're going to be doing is, in fact, the teams are completely geared up and ready, is sanitize all the floors, the air conditioning vents, as well as the common areas and the retailer areas. As we speak today, around 90% of the tenants have sanitized their areas, be it Avenue or at Promenade. So we want to reach those levels and then do the audits and the checks to ensure complete safety and compliance. Now, what we are going to do over and above what MHA guidelines say, of course, we're going to have, really follow that too by letter and by spirit. But beyond that, we're doing things like the thermal cameras. We're going to be placing thermal cameras at the entrances, which will ensure that with very heavy crowd also, the temperature checks will be contactless and seamless, and it's visible for the customer to see that it's not something that we would do it on a surfeit basis. The other that we will be doing is having an app. We have a unified app in Lookout, we call it the DLF Malls Lookout app. Now this app from Monday on will be geared to actually arm the customers for maintaining social distancing. They can actually see the app and see distancing is maintained in the common areas or in the corridors. Beyond that, if you go to the washrooms today, you will see every second wash basin or the washroom is actually blocked and closed. And every time there is sanitization that's required, it's just like in a hotel. We freshly sanitize the washroom and then the customer is allowed to use it. Basic things like 3-step roller escalators and elevators, allowing only 2 to 3 people are mandatory, and we are following to the T. We're also looking at, coming up with contactless dining with for all our food courts. You will see that the food courts will have 50% of seats taken away. And we have also seen that, the contactless that will be the way forward for us. At Mall of India, which is, a high level property, we are also going to endeavor to do curbside checkout. What we mean by this is if a customer wants to drive through and order for some food, they will be able to drive through and pick up the order and drive out of the mall without having to enter the property if they want to do a quick drive-through. We are offering that service to those people who feel a little jittery at this point in time. So in order to do these services, currently the teams are highly engaged. And another interesting thing that we have done is car sanitization. So every time coming into our ramps, it will be sanitized. That will give an added layer of protection, both for the customer as well as for our staff. We would like to ensure that our staff is safe. So all our endeavors
all the more crucial for the staff to be ensured that they are safe, they are protected at all times, because they are the backbones that are going to be running your malls at the end of the day. Pushpa, being the executive director, when it comes to the DLF malls, what are the sort of challenges that you have faced in the past 2 months?
Well, I can tell you one thing. The biggest challenge is that we are all at the malls, we like to walk the talk, walk and work. And suddenly we had to sit and work from home. That's the biggest challenge I can tell you my teams faced. But having said that, that's on a lighter note. But broadly, I can tell you that the fact that retail industry actually shut, the shopping malls industry shut, offices were still running. We were the ones, hotels were the ones were still running on a lean basis. Retail was completely shut all over the country. I think the biggest challenge is this, that the retailers, who are frankly smaller businesses, they are mom and pop shops in many ways, they are entrepreneurs in many ways, they lost their revenue completely for these 2.5 months. And that had a ripple effect in turn, because a lot of the staff, including our own outsourced staff, have gone back to the villages. That's the second challenge that we've been facing. All the trained staff, and it costs a lot to train people. And we have done a fantastic job over these 10 years in training some of our outsourced staff. and they've been with us. I'm sure the same is the case with Arjun for 10 years. And today we have to retain and actually retrain a new lot of staff coming in case we need to fulfill the numbers. This is it.
In fact, I would like to have Arjun also on this particular issue. I want his opinion as well. How he has been tackling this migrant issue, especially migrant issue, and not just migrant, but also employee retainership, especially when people are very, very scared and paranoid to come out of their homes. So how do you exactly lure them out, and especially when public transport is not in full operations?
Well, Megha, yes, that was a challenge. But, let us not forget, the shopping center never closed. Select City Walk never shut down all these days. The grocery store and the pharmacy were open. So on an average day, there were about 250 to 300 footfalls coming through. We had to still run the center for them because they were part of what we call the essential commodities that the people needed. There were deliveries taking place from there. There were walk-in taking place from there. Now, when it comes to labor, we as an organization took a very big step. We said that, we've had these people, whether they're outsourced, whether they're working with us, they've worked with us for all these years. We never took anybody off the rolls. We have paid every single salary for the lockdown period. We have made sure, in fact, in the month of March, we actually prepaid the salaries for April, so that we realized that a lot of people and their families will be nervous. So we wanted to send a strong message out there, and I'm sure other responsible businesses who could do so. And I don't take away anything from the fact that businesses have had to cut for some salaries, because I think every business has its own challenges. But fortunately, we could do that. So now when we opened, actually, we've had literally more than 95% of our original strength is back in. There have been a few people who've been stuck in villages, but they're also trying to find their ways in. Now, there was a particular staff of ours who lives in a small town in Bihar. Just to give you information, when we told him that he has to report for the opening, he took a 5-hour private taxi. He took a flight from Patna to Delhi, and his only salary is about 22 or 23,000 rupees. It just shows the commitment. He just said, "Look, I want to come back and work." Right. And we were so stunned by that one young man who's probably on 24,000 rupees, and he made that effort to come back, and he didn't, find excuses. Look, I can't find a train, or I could. He bought a flight ticket. I'm just completely, so much in shock and awe of his commitment and this thing. So it really goes to show that there are good people, and I think it's not about anything about taking away from their commitment. But let's face it, that these are challenging times, and I think people are rising to the occasion.
People are rising to the occasion, and those are the rare gems that you find in these times of adversity. But Pushpa, coming back to you, another challenge that had been all over the papers and news reports was a tiff that was brewing between the retailers and the mall owners. Now tomorrow, going on Wednesday, when DLF Avenue opens up, how many of those retailers are going to open shop?
So, Megha, here's the thing, that we have very, very strong relationships with our brands. Just like we are talking about our staff who've been with us for 10 years, same is the case with the retailers. We are one big family. Actually, retail is a very close-knit family. Yes, there is pain, but we DLF has always taken a leadership stance. We understand the pain. And there will be a shared pain approach that we will, deal with our retail partners and our tenant partners. And we are in talks with them. And I don't see any reason why people will not get back to business, because they know that Delhi NCR is the most high consumption market, and they have also been having very highly profitable stores. So why will they not come back? As I told you, the reason why we were confident to open on Wednesday and then going on one mall at a time is because we wanted to give that opportunity for the retail partners to sanitize their stores. Today, if 90% of the stores are sanitized, therein lies the answer, right? So 90% of the people are wanting to open the store sooner than later. So they want to start their business. They are very keen to get back on the road. And remember, they also have their own fixed costs. They're also paying salaries, like DLF is paying salaries to all its staff and outsourced staff. In the same way, the retailers are also doing that.
Right.
So I think the pain is there. At the same time, I believe that the resilience in the retail fraternity is very high. And my will be towards the retail fraternity resilience on one hand, on the other hand, towards the relationship that we've built over the years. And we will come across some very amicable. This is what we are looking towards. And I'm sure over a period of the next 1 or 2 weeks, which is going to be definitely engaging for all of us in the industry, life should be back on track. More important to all this is that both retailers and the mall developers are keen to build consumer confidence. All of approaching it in a very safe and cautious way, Megha. You'll be amazed to know that retailers have followed the SOP, the MHA guidelines to the T, because they are more concerned, as much as mall developers are, to ensure that the consumers feel safe. As they feel safe, they will get more and more loyal because they have loyal consumers already on their, they have loyal and HNI consumers already with them. The idea is, how do they make them feel safe?
Absolutely. Arjun, if I could come to you, and before I wrap up this show, just want to understand, was it also sort of a level of friction and maybe a question raised in your mind, perhaps amongst all the other mall owners and retailers who open up in malls, that while there were these single stores that were being allowed to open, or stores in Lajpat, and all these areas were allowed being open, why was it that the malls were being restrained from doing so, especially when precautions were going to be much more stringent when it comes to bigger malls, because the protocols, the SOPs, and your personal guidelines and the hygiene factors are much higher over here?
Megha, I think it was challenging to explain to the government authorities that closed shopping centers are safe. I think there was a bit of an apprehension around air conditioning, which we allayed. Basically, we said that we were following very stringent guidelines laid down by the CPWD and a private society called ISHRE, which works on safe air conditioning. And again, they had picked up a lot of the protocols from China as China was opening. And I think the government kind of figured out that it probably needs to do this in a calibrated manner. Now, when we engaged with the government, I think they were all very sympathetic and empathetic that modern retail, which represents approximately 11% of retail India, needs to open. But they were just wanting to make sure that they do it in a calibrated manner. Somewhere there could be a bit of politics around it, because the small traders need to be open, and that's fine. I respect that. But at the end of the day, I think it's been about 2.5, 3 weeks between the local markets opening and the shopping malls opening. And we want to work along with the local traders. I don't think any one of us is worried about them versus us. It's all about partnership. At the end of the day, retail exists both at the high street, online, and in the shopping mall environment. So really, it's okay. Certainly, we wish we had opened 3 weeks ago, but it's never too late. I think we look forward now to just ramping it slowly. I think, as Pushpa said, the key really is to give the consumer the confidence that they are entering into a safe place. So if today we have 3,500, 4,000 people that would have gone through the portals of Select City Walk, I think this will grow slowly. And I'm glad that it will grow slowly. We are not going to be looking to push numbers through. We are telling retailers that please don't start with too many sales. Just open, learn, get the process going. And I must say, the retailers have been the true heroes in the whole process. They've come up to the mark. They have their own protocols. And I think customers are realizing that actually when you enter into a shopping center like Select City Walk or DLF Avenue, you will have multiple layers of security. You know what I mean? For example, we're also doing your car sanitization, tires, tunnels, UV lights, just the whole gamut of it. Absolutely. In fact, I think probably the safest building to go into at this point in time are shopping centers. I feel most confident going in there than anywhere else.
I think the message has been sent across loud and clear. Yes, the message has been sent across loud and clear to those, the loyals who actually want to go, but the regulars from DLF Shopping Mall or the Select City Shopping Mall and various others that have opened up in large numbers across the country. We wish you all the best, both Pushpa Bector and Arjun Sharma. And when we hope more and more people pour into your malls, obviously there are SOPs and guidelines that are in place. Everybody needs to follow those social distancing norms. But nonetheless, businesses have started working now. We are only hoping that these only surge in numbers in revenues as well. I thank both of my guests for joining me on the broadcast.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.